Hi everyone, and welcome back to Thrive in 3, a brief conversation about thriving in life and in business. And today I have pleasure in welcoming Felicity Jones. Hi Felicity.
Hi Lois.
Great to have you here.
Oh, it's an absolute pleasure to be here.
Felicity, please tell our viewers a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so for the past 20 years, and I always have to pinch myself to think of that time frame, I've worked in fundraising, and I've worked predominantly in international organizations, places like London School of Economics, Institute for War and Peace Reporting, and most recently a South African organisation called Mothers to Mothers. I'm absolutely passionate about the power of effective not-for-profits, but I'm also passionate about how little equity there is within philanthropy and within fundraising. And for that reason, this year, January, not appreciating what was about to happen in the world, I made what then seemed a brave decision to go by myself and to set up a consultancy which I've called Thinking Philanthropy, and is entirely focused on bridging the gaps between those effective organisations and those transformative funders who are looking for them, but they don't know how to navigate to each other.
Wow, that's fantastic. I think I need to talk to you after this.
Lots of people say that, but funding is always a magic bullet. But it's as I explain to my clients, it's really having the confidence in what you're already doing, and really then finding the right funders as partners for that.
Great, thank you. So, Felicity, what is your thriving tip of the day?
I thought about this before we came on. You'll be pleased to know. For me, I think it's not setting your own mental constraints before you start thinking about whatever the issue might be. If that's a personal one, it's a professional one, or it's a very specific thing about starting to write something. I think we're very good at setting negativity into our mindsets before we start, which for me goes into constraints. So for example, some of the smaller clients that I work with, their starting point will be, oh, we'll never get funding from that person. They're a big funder. They do important things. They've already set those constraints. And for me to thrive, you have to start from a realistic perspective of what's possible. And you're the one who sets that foundation, not an externality. And so for me, that's, I think the worst thing to do is to set your own constraints, which are unnecessary, and impose constraints on yourself, which actually in turn limit your ability to thrive.
So how do we set that positive attitude or that positive outcome?
Yeah, I know, because being the positive cheerleader is also really irritating, and I do know that. For me, I think it's breaking it down into a very simple set of questions that you apply to yourself, regardless of any opportunity, whatever it might be. And you start from the premise of what you've already done and what you want to achieve, rather than thinking about what you assume to be the external reality of somebody else. So, we all project individually, we all project professionally. Organizations are just the same. And so for me, it's starting with absolute basics. And I think particularly in fundraising, people are very nervous, and so they start with this big set of, sort of, we must achieve this, or we'll go under, we must achieve this, or we're not going to grow. And for me, it's starting with some very basic questions: what you already have, where you want to go, and what does that journey look like? And if we can break those questions down into manageable chunks, then the thriving, paradoxically, the ability to thrive and the ability to go on a journey that you weren't anticipating at the beginning becomes more possible. But for me, it's really about breaking it down into a conversation and a dialogue, even if that's with yourself, and making it about very, very simple starting questions that one can answer. And then that's what you unpack, rather than this abstract external plan.
I love that. Breaking things down into bite-sized chunks, Bite-sized questions. Very good.
Yeah,
Great.
exactly.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Okay. Everyone, this is Lois from Coaching Conversations for Change. Please join us again for another Thriving 3. Thank you so much, Felicity, for joining us today.
Oh, thank you for inviting me, Lois. It's been a pleasure.
Go well.
You too.